Hi, welcome to Parent Ed Talk. I'm your host, Jamie Googans. Today we're going to talk about the influence of parent-child interactions over the span of a lifetime. Sounds a little bit complicated, but basically we're going to be talking about attachment and how attachment relates to us later on in life. So I found this amazingly cool article, which I will share at the end in my notes. Mary Main did this really cool study. Her and her colleagues created this adult attachment inventory, and they were able to compare some of the adults and how they attach now as adults to how they functioned back when they were kids. And so it's very, very interesting. So the first area was like these detached individuals. They were really dismissive. They devalued what happened to them as a kid and their attachments, remembered very little about what occurred and how that could impact them, tended to say that their parents were just wonderful. As adults, they are claimed to be strong and independent, and that they don't really need to have close friendships and attachments to others as adults. So, and looking at this, Maine found that this aligns with the anxious avoidant child and how they were back when they were children. So the anxious avoidant child who is not sure of themselves and is scared of new tasks, grow up to be almost overly independent and feeling like they don't need anybody else to help them and that they can do it all on their own. So the second group was the secure pattern, and that was the people that were objective and non-defensive. They admitted their parents had some shortcomings, but overall, they were securely attached to them. And that was an autonomous attachment. So these are the people that go on to then create secure attachments with their own children. And, the quote unquote healthy attachments. The last was this enmeshed pattern where people were confused and they were kind of passive, vague about things, conflicted maybe in talking about, their attachment when they were children. And Maine says that these people are the ones that have an inability to move past their sense of self back from when they were children. So, if they had an unhealthy upbringing, these would be, and had a non-secure attachment, these are the ones that really just struggle moving past that and developing secure attachments later on in life. So this is a really cool, amazing, kind of an amazing study, that Maine and her colleagues worked on. Really intriguing as to how that can go on to affect us as adults. Now, remember that I want to, preface this by saying that, or conclude this by saying that just because you were maybe raised in a way and didn't have the kind of attachment that you wanted doesn't mean that you're stuck and you're going to repeat those patterns. I myself did not have a great childhood. I had, there was abuse in my life, there was neglect, there was mental health issues. So definitely, obviously, that affected me as a child. But recognizing that within yourself and understanding and working towards, that's not who you want to become. And you'll have to do some work to get past that, but it's not impossible. So that's the good news. The good news is just because this happened to you when you were a kid does not mean that you have to follow this through the rest of your life is, of course, refreshing. It will take work, but you can do it. So there is hope for us that maybe didn't have the best secure attachments in life, that we can move on to be happy and healthy adults and actually form secure attachments within our own families. Definitely possible, definitely feasible. So don't let it get you down, but it's just an interesting study to say how these things can affect you later in life if you don't deal with them. And very interesting that the things that happen to us when we're infants, when we're small children, can carry over through the rest of our life unless we decide to change it. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.